Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the World Sports Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs. Sorry, that was fast. And my opinions on what has happened so far. I have missed a lot. I haven't really updated you guys on my thoughts, but let's just go right quick through it and focus a little, take more time to talk about the conference series. Um, and I'll talk about some things that surprised me as well. So first off, I thought New Orleans played Phoenix really well. You know, they're going to be really interesting next year. I mean, they're going to have, hopefully Zion is back. I think he will be. And then they have the 8th pick in this year's draft. And this is a pretty decent draft. You could get a Ben Mathurin, Blake Wesley, or, a Sochan or Ochai Abaji type player that could really improve your team. Or you could take like Mark Williams and not re-sign Valanciunas. So they're going to get a really good player. And then Kira Lewis Jr., their first round pick from last year's draft, is also going to be back. So this is a really solid team, and they gave up a high pick for McCollum, but they've still got number 7. And I think that was the right move because McCollum's still a star in my eyes. I love CJ McCollum. He's one of my favorite players. Um, so I'm really interested to see New Orleans. Mavericks beat Utah. For me, this was a defining series, just a little bit for Dallas because they didn't have Luka, and for me, my knock on the Mavericks always was who's their second best player behind Luka Doncic. And I think Jalen Brunson stepped up and showed, hey, I'm a good player in this league. I can score. And it's also a sign for Utah that this core isn't working. If you can't beat a Mavericks team without Luka, with your full squad, and I know Luka played in those last few games, but come on, man. It's time to pack it up and move on. So I think they're going to move on from Gobert, so that'll be interesting. Warriors beat the Nuggets. No Jamal Murray, so not a surprise there. And then Grizzlies Timberwolves. The Grizzlies barely move on. Really impressed by the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves are a solid team. I think they're really slept on. I mean, they've got a big three, and then they've got Pat Bev. They've got Vanderbilt. They've got Jaden McDaniels. They have some solid pieces. So don't sleep on Minnesota going forward. Then the Suns take on the Mavericks. And most people thought this was going to be a sweep. Or, no one thought Dallas was going to win this game. Realistically, if you thought Dallas was going to win this series, good for you. If you thought Dallas was going to beat the Phoenix Suns twice or 4 times, I don't know how you thought that, because Phoenix was incredibly dominant in the regular season. They were just an absolute wagon, and you asked yourself, okay, who's going to guard DeAndre Ayton? How are they going to contain Booker and Chris Paul? And the Suns have good depth. Can they match Campaign? Can they match Cameron Johnson, Mikal Bridges? This is a deep roster, and somehow Dallas pulled it off. Luka kind of just put the team on his back and pulled it off in that crazy Game 7 where, not really crazy, it was a blowout, but Luka just said, I'm going to do this. And Phoenix looked dead almost in that game. I don't know what happened, but it's sad, man. I don't know if CP3 will be back. I don't know what's going to happen, but that was kind of their year to make the finals, because I think they would have beaten Golden State in a series, in all honesty. And that's just me, but I don't think Golden State matches up well against them. And then, of course, Golden State beats the Grizzlies. Not much to take from this series. Warriors were just better team. Not much of a surprise there. And then, since Dallas wins, we get the crappy conference final of the Warriors and the Mavericks. And as one would guess, it was either a sweep or 5 games in favor of Golden State, because they're literally the exact same team, except Golden State's better. Curry pretty much matches Luka. Obviously, Luka's bigger and stuff, but they're kind of the same player. Luka's probably a little bit better to score. And then, besides for that, Reggie Bullock matched up against Klay Thompson. Dwight Powell against Kevon Looney and Draymond Green. it's just not even close. Who's guarding Wiggins? Like Wiggins just put Luka on a poster. Um, who's guarding Jordan Poole? Like Mavericks had no answers. And so it's partly a testament to the fact that Dallas needs to improve their roster talent overall. I thought Dallas was gonna be like an 8 seed this year. I did not see them being this good, which is impressive for them. But for me, if I'm Dallas, I'm getting Rudy Gobert this offseason for a solid rim protector. You don't need scoring. Like, don't get Zach LaVine. Just get pieces to put around Luca because Luca's proven like he can provide the scoring. Like, he doesn't need help scoring. They don't need other scorers. They don't need other guys who are like, I want the ball. Like Luca, Luca's your scorer. He scores your points. That's why I think Gobert's a perfect fit, is because he'll get those boards. He's going to play great defense, and you're not relying on him for points. You don't need him to score because you have Luka Doncic. So I think Gobert would be perfect for them. They also need a center. Dwight Powell is their starting center, which is just a disaster. And I think Maxi Kleber's decent, but he's not going to be on a team that's in the finals and get consistent minutes. So that's my laundry list for Dallas, real quick. And the Golden State Warriors advanced the finals after being absolutely putrid. I think it was 2 years ago. Then they got James Wiseman in the draft. So the Warriors, are they back? I think some version of them is back, but I don't think. I think the Celtics will beat them. But let's get into that a little bit later. So the Celtics play the Milwaukee Bucks in that lower series. I don't know what you were to use to describe that, but the Celtics play the Bucks, and no Chris Middleton for the Bucks, which definitely hurt them. And by the way, Celtics sweep the Nets, which is crazy. Didn't see that coming, but no Chris Middleton for the Bucks. It's kind of all on Giannis and Jrue Holiday to score those points, and I guess Brook Lopez to was solid and provide scoring, but pretty much mostly on them. And I thought Boston would have lost this series if Chris Middleton was playing. You just got to think about it. It was either Grayson Allen or Javon Carter who was getting minutes instead of Chris Middleton. So, if you put Chris Middleton in those moments, I mean, he's impossible to guard. He kills the Celtics. I thought the Bucks would have won this series, to be honest. But the Celtics team is also gritty, so I'm not going to take knocks at them. I mean, this is a team that's earned their way to the finals and absolutely battled and is really scrappy and one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen. So Celtics move on in Game 7. They beat Milwaukee by a decent amount. And then the Heat took on the Sixers, the Heat being the 1 seed and the Sixers being the 4. Really disappointing if I'm a Sixers fan. I almost feel bad for Sixers fans after watching this series. I mean, Harden just does not look like James Harden that he used to be. He's slower. He's not playing great defense in the playoffs. And he doesn't have that explosiveness that he used to. It was just tough. I mean, the Sixers also didn't have Joel Embiid for the first 2 games, so that's tough. But I mean, this Miami team is good, but they're not great. If you defend them the right way, I think they're pretty easy to beat. And Jimmy B is really their only legit scorer. I mean, let's be honest here. I guess Hero is too, but he plays absolutely no defense. So, like, he's really easy to exploit on the other end. Miami also, this is a testament to Eric Spoelstra for them winning this series. They did not play Duncan Robinson because they knew they'd probably get that Harden on Duncan Robinson switch where Harden would just draw a foul every play. So Spoelstra is a really good coach, and I think he deserves that recognition. He knows what he's doing, and credit to him for playing PJ Tucker all those minutes and starting Max Strus over Duncan Robinson, because Strus is a better defender and their lineup wasn't as vulnerable. It did put more pressure on Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry's washed now, by the way. And I think that's why they lost the series. They just couldn't compete with the Boston scoring, and coupled with that defense. And that Game 7 was crazy. I mean, the Celtics almost blew it. I'm happy they didn't. Would have felt so bad for them. And now they're on to the finals. And the the Celtics, I think, are gonna win this series. I think they match up real well against the Warriors. My biggest question for the Warriors is how are they gonna do down low? I mean, that's really my question. Who's gonna how are they gonna guard Robert Williams? Who's gonna guard him? That Williams Horford combination is gonna be tough for them. I think they're gonna get a little bit crushed down low key. And then I mean, besides for that, it's just going to be an awesome series. Like, I think Draymond will be on Tatum. Smart, I guess, will have Curry, so he'll try to exploit that. And then Clay will be on Jaylen Brown, I guess. Um, I don't know how they're going to do that, but it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. The Heat Warriors would have been terrible to watch. I think the Warriors would have swept them. And this is just going to be, I think, one of the best finals we've had in years. So I can't wait. So that's that for the playoffs, and I'm putting out an NBA draft article soon, so I'll let you guys know when that's out. But thanks for watching, and it's good to be back. See you.